Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's good to see y'all made it out in the rain and all that good stuff. But today is a great day. It's always a great day to be in front of Rattlers like you and our Rattlers at home who are watching us. It's amazing every time we go live and I start seeing the numbers go up immediately of the number of people online. So for all of you that are online, thank you for continuing to join and continuing to support us as we undertake the mission and continue the mission developed by our founder, Eddie Jackson, in supporting FAMU athletics and Florida A&M University in general. Today, I'm going to start out with something very important. So as opposed to me paraphrasing it, I'm going to read this release because I think it's that important, of something that's happening tomorrow at 5:30 over at the School of Pharmacy, the newest wing of the School of Pharmacy, 5:30 at the Florida Blue Auditorium room in there. So I'm going to just read it because I don't want to paraphrase it. This is too important. Blood, sweat, and tears, black communities, and football. Learn the role football played in Florida's black communities before, during, and after desegregation. This free program will begin at 5:30 p.m. on Thursday, February 20th at the Florida Blue Auditorium in the College of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Science on the campus of FAMU. The event is sponsored by FAMU's Center for African and African American Studies. The documentary film, Bridging Troubled Waters, Coach Jesse Hurd, Football and Desegregation. Everybody knows Jesse Hurd. You know that name. He was a great Rattler running back for Coach Gaither. Well, let me go ahead and read it because it's going to tell. But Coach Jesse Hurd has a field that was dedicated, a high school field in Gainesville that is named after him. He was a great Rattler here and an even greater individual when he went out into the community. Coach Jesse Hurd, Football and Desegregation, will screen at 6 p.m. Legendary track alumna and Fox Sport reporter Pam Oliver will narrate the film. Following the showcase, Oliver will host a conversation on the golden age of HBCU football with Jesse Hurd, who played for late coach Alonzo Jake Gaither in the mid-50s, and Derek E. White, PhD, professor at the University of Kentucky. Dr. White is the author of the book Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Jake Gaither, Florida A&M University, and the History of Black College Football. At FAMU, Jesse Hurd starred as a running back and is in the FAMU Football Hall of Fame. That's actually the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame, but the ranks of Coach Gaither's great teams are thinning. Rattler gems like Jesse Hurd harbor these important historical perspectives. Hurd is also the last head football coach at Gainesville, Florida's Lincoln High School, and the first athletic director and head football coach at Gainesville Bucos. I could never say that name. That's Bucos? Bucos, okay. I ain't got it right yet. Well, y'all know what I'm talking about. At Lincoln High School, Coach Hurd had to navigate a rough course from segregation to the no man's land of freedom of choice desegregation to the end of separate white and black schools in 1970. Lincoln, the almost all-black high school in Florida, was closed. And Bucos, Coach Hurd was one of 3 remaining black head high school football coaches in the state of Florida. There he built a winning program with an integrated coaching staff and team. So that is tomorrow at 5:30 at the newest wing of the pharmacy building. That's the one that's all the way down the hill. And if you go in the front door, the Florida Blue Room will be to your left. It's a beautiful auditorium. They're going to show the movie starting, the documentary, I think apparently it's 30 minutes because they show the documentary at 5, and then at 5:30, Pam Oliver will convene the panel with Jesse Hurd and Dr. White. So if you aren't doing anything, I'm sure, I haven't seen it, but just from the history alone and having talked to Mr. Hurd before, he's a walking encyclopedia. So Tomorrow at 5:30 at the Florida Blue Room of the College of Pharmacy's newest building. That's the farthest one down the hill. All right? Yes. The 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 5 o'clock. They show the film. The screening of the film is at 5 o'clock. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the first 100 people there tomorrow get a free copy of the book. So Deacon Matthews might be right. You might need to be there at 4 o'clock. Yeah, the first 100 people get a free copy of Dr. White's book. And so you get the book, do the screening, and then Pam Oliver will come out and interview Hurd and Dr. White. I think that sounds like something good to go to. It sounds so good. Carmen Cummings called me to make me introduce Pam, and so I think I'll be there tomorrow. At least I can get a free book, huh? Maybe. But anyway, also we'd like to let everyone know that I think it's here Saturday, but the funeral for Sammy Knight, great Sammy Knight, is here Saturday, 11? Saturday at 11 o'clock, right here upstairs at the Old West Enrichment Center. The services for Sammy Knight are Saturday, right here at the Enrichment Center. And we'd also like to recognize another great rattler. He wasn't an athlete. He supported athletes, but he was always at the events. Horace Keith passed, and his service was yesterday. A great service, another great rattler that we're missing. But just wanted to recognize him. And oh, man, Ted White from Jacksonville. Mr. Mitchell. Aquilina Pemberton. So to all our great rattlers, we want to salute them all. We'll miss them from the Rattler family. But without further ado, I'd like to bring up the executive director of the Rattler Boosters, Mr. Selvin Cobb.
Good afternoon, everyone. With our, Vaughn just read the letter, and if you all need additional copies, I have the letter. I was going to read it as well. But I think this is going to be a great event, and I do have, yes. You want one? Okay. And if you need any other copies, I'll be glad to give them to you as well. But we want to just go ahead and give you a brief Rattler sports review, February the 19th. Beginning with our women's basketball team, fell on a pretty tough streak here this week. We lost 2 home games. It's always kind of tough it's rough to win, but it's really tough when you lose at home. But we lost 2 games. We lost to Alcorn State 69-74. On Saturday, the first of the doubleheader, we lost 40-37. And what hurts about this game was we led most of the game. And we just, Coach was here last week, and she talked about how the girls are having a tough time closing. And this is one of the situations where we had a real tough time in closing for the victory. So beginning on Thursday, we're going to be playing Alabama A&M. That's up in Huntsville. And on Saturday, we're going to come down and we're going to play Alabama State. And that's going to be in Montgomery. So we want to wish them well on the road. we just almost had a complete turnaround. It was a complete turnaround with the men's team. We continued our win streak. If you haven't had an opportunity to go out and watch the men play, you're missing a great opportunity. Last week, we had 2 games at home, and we beat Jackson State 76-71. And Alcorn State, we beat them 85-76. So with that game, we ended up being tied for second place in SWAC conference. So that's a I don't know when the last time I've been to a college basketball game where we were in the hunt for the championship. I don't want to age myself, but I've been around since Rock Oglesby was a basketball coach when I first came up here. 2007. 2007 is the last time that we've had a winning record. Actually, believe it or not, I think we are 12-12. I believe our total record is 12-12. Overall, we're 12-12. So, I mean, you really need to go out and cheer our team on. We want to cheer on for both teams because, believe it or not, both teams are going to be in the tournament. Regardless of, we're struggling a little bit with the women right now, but we're going to pull that one out. But both teams will make the tournament. And I can't remember the last time we had both teams make the tournament for our conference championship. So, again, we want to go out and support our basketball teams. Our women's tennis got rained out last Sunday. And next match is going to be at Jackson State. It's at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Our softball team played in an HBCU Classic tournament that was up in Covington, Georgia. And we lost the first game. We lost to one of our old nemesis, North Carolina A&T. We lost 7-1. No, they won the game? Well, we won the game. Well, we were 3-0 then. I thought I saw what we had lost. So we won the game. That was on the schedule. It was on the schedule because I went by the FAMU Rattler thing, and it had a loss, 7-1. So we actually won 3 games up there this week. So I'm glad you all corrected me. We won 3 games. Okay. So good luck. Great ball club, great team. Our next week's game, because we're going to be playing in the Joanna Graf Classic. That's going to be at Florida State. Now, the competition won't be easy because we're going to start off playing the home team first. We're going to start off with Florida State first. Then on the 21st, the next game, we're going to play a doubleheader. We're going to play at 10, and we're also going to play Texas A&M. We're going to play them on the 21st. We start out with Florida State on the 20th. Then we're going to come back. We're going to play at 10:30 the next morning, at 10 o'clock the next morning, and we're also going to play at 12:30 on that game. And then on Saturday, we're going to play again at 10 and 12:30, and that's going to be southeastern Louisiana. That's going to be this coming week, which is tomorrow. Starts tomorrow, right. The 20th is tomorrow, right? Okay. because it's real easy because the date is the 19th. Okay, one thing about being up here, you can always get it straight before you leave. So again, we get a chance to go out and watch our softball team play. So we want to wish them well, and let's go out and watch the games. On golf, there's an ARCIS, ARCIS Classic. It's an HBCU Classic, and that's going to be played in Western Florida, and that's going to be this weekend. On baseball, we had a great grand opening. We played University of Tennessee Martin, and we came out with a 4-2 win. And it was a great time, great atmosphere. Just a great game. On Saturday, we came back, we had a doubleheader, and the first game was really, really exciting. And we went all the way and came from behind 4-0, and we came from behind and tied the score up. And they actually won the game 8-7. They scored in the top of the ninth inning to actually win the game. And we actually had the bases loaded, and we just couldn't get that hit across from the bottom of the inning. Coming this week, well, we played a game on Tuesday of this week, and we played University of North Florida, and we lost that game 13-3. Tonight, was it 21st? They canceled it? Against Florida? Okay. They moved it. Okay, they moved it. Okay. That was the game that was going to be played Thursday. I mean, yeah, it was today. Yeah, they moved it to another time. Okay. 26, okay. We think it's the 26th, okay? So now it means that there's nothing in our way as we go down to play to the old Dodger spring training site. That's at Vero Beach, Florida. And they're going to be playing down there this weekend. We're going to start off by playing and it's called the Andre Dawson Classic. On 221, it says we're playing Missouri, and I'm not sure if that's another school in Missouri. I don't think it's the Missouri. Okay, we're playing the Missouri, Okay, yeah. So that's a great lineup. Also, we're starting, and the next game is going to be on the 22nd. We're going to play Southern University on that night, and on the last game is Alabama A&M that we're going to play at 3 o'clock on that Sunday. So we got three good teams that's going to be out there. So if you not doing anything, you want to take a trip down south, go where the tropics begin. That's in Vero Beach, Florida. So let's go down to Vero Beach and cheer our team on to victory. And last but not least, this is the SWAC Indoor Championship weekend. And we're going to be in Birmingham, Alabama, and we're going to be defending our SWAC championship. So again, we expect for them to bring home another trophy from SWAC this year. So again, those are our highlights. And if you need any other copies for the one that Vaughn read, I got copies of it, so I'll give you one of my copies as well. Okay. Any other questions? SWAC basketball tournament is going to be in Atlanta. The first time that it's been, probably first time since it's been probably outside of the SWAC area. It's going to be in Atlanta. It's going to be near the airport. I think it's called the Gateway Classic or something like that. But that's the arena that they're going to play in. And the basketball tournament begins, I think, on the 11th. I think I saw somewhere where it begins on the 11th. The good thing about basketball is that we're going to have our pep bands. Our bands are going to, all of the bands will be there, and the cheerleaders. So nice atmosphere up there, okay? All right, so if you're not doing anything on March 11th, you want to have a nice weekend, hey, take a ride to Atlanta. All right, okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Seven. And also, you can go back and see Bill, and I see him, he can't even sit in his seat. But if you want to sign up for the Rattler Boosters, like I have, I'm a Life member and a Venom member annually, I make sure I sign up with the Rattler Boosters. Very important that we support all our organizations, so I got you off the hook there. I saw Bill, he was about to come up here, so. As far as baseball, it's a funny thing. You know, they say Eddie Robinson was known every year back when he had them sticks. Eddie, boy, you look like you're going to run through everybody. I don't know about this team. I'm going to have to see. Well, Jamie Shoup does the same thing to me. I went out to practice the other day before they ever played the first game. Coach, how you doing? Oh, man, I don't know. He does. I said, Coach, you've been here longer. You've been here about 15 years telling me the same thing, and you make magic out of it. So anyway, that's the funny thing about Coach Shoup. But one of the things that goes along with what Selvin was saying about our men's basketball program, first, our women's program is just right there. I just think we need a few more personnel. Of all things, we don't have anybody to really take over and shoot. That's usually the easiest person to recruit. If you say, I want you to come to my school and shoot, and now if you tell them you want them to come to play defense, it's going to be hard to recruit them. But recruiting somebody to shoot is very, very easy. So Coach Gordon, I'm sure she knows she needs some scorers. I mean, when you hold a team to 40 points, you should beat them. So they got the defensive part down. Now we just need to fix the offensive side, and that basketball team's season would be totally different. So we have to keep her in our prayers, because of where she plays, she has an expectation, and I keep telling her, just adjust that to where you are and keep improving. So we're gonna have to keep Coach Gordon, make sure we continue to send her encouragement, because regardless, we're seeing improvement. We're at the games, we're seeing improvement, and so that's what we asked for. On the men's side, what I saw from the coach between Saturday and Monday, on Saturday, who did we play Saturday? Jackson, against Jackson State. When they went into the press, that's when we lost our big lead and coach was pulling his hair out. When Alcorn came with that same press, coach had prepared them and the press did not work. So that's a good thing. Those are the kind of improvements that when you're watching the game, you're like, well, we all knew from the press conference after the Jackson State game that the press was going to be stressed in practice the next day. But anyway, so we're excited about that. You know, I like the MEAC, and there's absolutely no disrespect to the MEAC made in this statement. But isn't it great that we can drive to the basketball tournament, that our band can go and our cheerleaders can go because it's just right up the street? There is a difference, and that is one of the reasons that we moved to the SWAC. That tournament's 4 hours from us now. And in a hub where there are a lot of Rattlers, so we expect a lot of support for you all online in the Atlanta area. Get your cousin and all of them. And be up there to support our Rattlers. We want to come back with 2 trophies. And Pookie and them. And Man. And Ray, all them. baby kids home. Leave baby kids home. In 2004, the Lady Rattler volleyball team had arguably the best season in the history of FAMU volleyball. That team was so good, they were AVCA ranked, I think our first time being AVCA ranked. We were chosen by the NCAA to host the NCAA regional tournament at Gaither Gym. That was 2003. In 2004, because the Rattlers were ranked, the University of Nebraska invited the Lady Rattlers out to the tournament. They were number 2 or number 1 in the country, undefeated. Had a long home winning streak. Coach Triffenoff and those girls didn't care anything about that streak or Nebraska. They went out there and beat them 3-1 and shocked everyone. Follow my story now. You got that parked out of the way. Coach Gokhan comes and he's won 3 out of 4 SWAC championships and is going to the NCAA tournament. The principle, one of the biggest principles of the NCAA tournament is what? To keep the games regional so the teams don't have to, so the students don't have to miss class time and your expenses are not high. So there are several sites for that NCAA tournament between Tallahassee and Nebraska. But Nebraska's great coach, John Cook, was retiring this year. And there was one team that he had a losing record against. 0-1. So if Coach Gokhan may wonder, he didn't care who they played. But to me, it didn't make sense that we were going from Tallahassee to Nebraska for a first-round game in the NCAA tournament. We went out there and we didn't get the win, but it still doesn't take the oddity of Florida A&M going to Nebraska to play that first-round game, except for the fact that John Cook was retiring and there was one team that he had a losing record against. But them Rattlers can strike fear in everybody, all the way up to the NCAA. But anyway, he's done a great job since taking over the helm of the Lady Rattler volleyball team. The ladies, the reason they're not here is because so many of them have graduated. They're gone, working. They are gone. Especially this year, he had a very senior team, very high academic team. Those young ladies are either gone or in class finishing up to graduate. So that's why there's not a trail of tall young ladies following him today. But all we need to hear is from our head coach of the Lady Rattler volleyball team, Gokhan Yilmaz.
Wow, what an introduction, so thank you. Just to be clear, I was not born in 2003, so that's way before my time. So I'm very proud to be here again, be in front of you, hearing all the great things spring sports are doing, from men's basketball to women's basketball to softball had a great start. And baseball was on their way to Florida today. That game rained out. They're going to Andrew Dawson Classic, I think. That is University of Missouri they're playing. I think they have connection to HBCU baseball. I think their coach was coach at Grambling. That's why they're in that event. So it's going to be a great experience for them as well. And we're expecting track and field to repeat. They're my neighbors. Our offices are side by side, so we're bouncing ideas with Coach Garfield every day. He's very excited for this weekend, and we're hoping that they're going to bring some hardware back. Well, basketball tournament is in Atlanta, but volleyball tournament in 2025 is in Tallahassee. So finally, it's our turn to host the tournament and have an opportunity to win in front of our fans. So what I'm going to do before I leave, I'm going to take pictures with everybody individually. I'm going to look at the attendance during the conference tournament. Want to make sure you're there, not alone, not with your cousin, not with your families, but the entire neighborhood. So we filled that out, Lawson, for a volleyball event. So we are really happy that that tournament will be here finally. Vaughn is correct. When I got the job, I think we had 7 players that were returning. We didn't know what the academics looked like. We had probation coming in. We were postseason ineligible. And the way we recruited kind of brought in some classes that were senior heavy. And this past one was one of those. We had 18 players on the roster. 10 of them graduated. 8 are returning. We added 1 in the transfer cycle. For those of you that don't know, our seasons and transfer cycles are exactly the same as football's. We mirror what football does in terms of scheduling and transfer cycles. We brought 1 in. We had 1 commit today. We have 1 official visit coming this weekend. We have 2 kids signed that are freshmen, is going to be here for summer B term. So we're going to be back up to about 15 players again. But we have fewer players this spring, and that's how springs go for us. Sometimes you have a lot of returners, sometimes you don't have as many. And we are also allowed to play during the spring. We are opening our spring competition this weekend. For those of you that are in town, we will be playing in Tully Gym at FSU. We're playing FSU in West Florida at 11 and 12:30. It's free admissions. It's 2 back-to-back matches. You can come and support us. It's a great opportunity to come and see one of the championship teams on campus. And we never rain out. It's never too cold in the gym. It's never too hot in the gym. We have comfortable seats, yes, and we have friendly people. So I'm inviting all of you to Tully Gym at 11 as the first match. We play West Florida. At 12:30, we're playing Florida State. So to add to that, I think they are in the later stages of the construction in Gaither Gym. We always had this idea to play volleyball matches back in Gaither. They are painting it in a way that it's going to look like a volleyball court again. Basketball will still be able to practice there when it's needed, but the future plan is to make it home of FAMU volleyball, and that's a vision we've had for some time, and Angela's doing a great job making it a reality. It's still some steps away from making that happen in terms of locker rooms, how the signage looks, and the video board that is needed there. But the appropriate steps are being taken, and we're very happy that it's not only going to provide us a place to practice, but it will also potentially be the home for us where, 2,000 people there is a big crowd. And you all know what it means to play in front of a home crowd in Gaither Gym, that we can really go in there and bring our undefeated streak from Lawson to Gaither, which, again, we were 13-0 in Lawson this year. And we're hoping to continue that. And lastly, I see the football schedule is out. The first home match, Albany State, we also have a home tournament that weekend. I think I'm going to stress it with the department too. We might need to get out some information. That tournament starts on Thursday. It goes on until Saturday morning before the football game. There's a couple of matches as well. And that would be something fun if you plan on being here that weekend. You can see quality volleyball. Louisiana Lafayette will be here. They owe us a return trip. Georgia State will be here. McNeese State will be here as well. And what we do in preseason, we play 4 weekends before conference season starts. And that gives us an opportunity to play sometimes Power 4 schools, sometimes some strong RPI tournaments. So we don't have to hit Nebraska the first round, just for competition, not because it was too cold, But again, we're excited. We have 1,000% APR. We graduate everybody we bring in. We're very happy with that. Our coaching staff has been here together for 7 years. We love what we do at FAMU. We think we can continue to represent the university to the best of our ability, not only winning on the court, graduating people and affecting lives too. But again, I can't stress enough that first weekend, Albany State weekend, very easy to remember. There's a home volleyball tournament there. It's great that the attendance is increasing in basketball. What a great job those two coaches are doing, both men and women's. But you can also come and see the exact same excitement in volleyball in the same gym during the fall. So we support football and volleyball at the same time, which I think this year Coach Colsey is going to have a championship team as well. So we're very excited for that. Well, again, thanks for having me. And again, if I'm taking pictures with you, you know why that is. I'm going to take attendance during the conference tournament. Yeah.
All right, we're going to pass the mic around for question and answer.
Date of the tournament.
The tournament in September? Is it the tournament in the fall or this weekend? The championship. That's November 22nd through to November 25th. That's usually the weekend we play Bethune-Cookman in football.
Hey, Coach, I just wanted to find out, are you going to be able to play in Gaither this upcoming season?
I don't think it's going to be ready this soon, since again, the scoreboard there is not sufficient. I think locker rooms need some reconfiguration, and then the signage is not there yet. But that is the plan, and when you see the floor, you'll realize it's set up for volleyball. But the goal is to be there in the near future.
Okay, so the tournament will be in Lawson.
Tournament looks like it might be in Lawson. It's Angela's decision ultimately. We haven't discussed that yet, but I'm thinking it will probably be in Lawson.
Two questions, Coach. Talk about what you have coming back as far as next year's team. And there's a term, what's it called, libero? Is that the right word? How do you say that word? What exactly does that person do, the libero or position?
Well, we have some great position players coming back. Our best offensive player actually got hurt against Bethune-Cookman, which made our competition really happy. It's the end of that match. We won in 3 sets, but she was just cleared 2 weeks ago to come back and practice with us. Ione Sanford is going to be a third-year player, so she's going to be our lead offensive player. We have a couple of really nice middle blockers coming back. Our setting position, which is our quarterback position, is coming back as well. And we redshirted a couple of players because we had overflow of hitters last year. So they're training with us. They'll get the experience and they'll be able to play as well. And the 2 freshmen, this is the first time I'm having it here, is highly recruited kids that are both 6'4". So we are increasing in size as well. So I think they're going to come in and have impact as well. So that position is called libero. It's a back row specialist. So if you look at the volleyball court, after the net, you're going to see a line 10 foot away from the net. It's called 10-foot line because it's 10 feet from the net. They can only play behind that line, and they cannot attack the ball over the height of the net. So their primary responsibility is the first contact, either passing or digging, and they're allowed to serve for one specific player every set, and you can switch that. Very important position that got passed about 15 years ago, made significant impact in volleyball. So one of the most important positions we have because the quality of that contact really affects the quality of the game and the flow of the game. But it is called libero. That's why they wear a different color jersey. And starting this year, you can have 2 of those, but only one of them can be on the court at a time. It's Libero.
Is that it?
Again, really appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
All right. Let me see. I got a couple of checks here. Okay, Alfred Palmore, we got a 200 on his, and Gary Goodwin, $100. Thank you very much. I love these people paying on time. That shows more dedication than being able to just stroke one check. If you keep doing that, means you keep thinking about FAMU. So we really appreciate those who have, paid over time. We don't care. It's all going to the same place and the same goal. Before we close out, Leroy, what we got? Is somebody keeping score of the good jokes and the bad jokes?
Good afternoon, everyone. I told, I said, look at you, I got a little joke for you this morning. There was an old farmer. He was working on the farm, down on the farm, and there's a boy come running up to him, Daddy, it's a preacher at the house. All right. He said, what? He said, preacher at the house, Daddy. He said, well, son, look at here. If you want an old Catholic preacher, you give him a little wine, he'd be okay. So as he was leaving, his daddy said, hey, son, come back, son, what? He said, what, Daddy? He said, one of them old Baptist preachers. He said, what, Daddy? You sit in Mama's lap till I get there.
All right, let's bring up our CEO. How you doing, Dr. Jackson?
Hello, Rattlers. I just wanted to take another moment to thank all of you for last week. I did not realize how all of that came about. I thought Barbara Norwood has gone all around and scrounged up flowers from everywhere. But then Vaughn called me that night. He was all excited about how when he was outside and he saw all of you coming in with flowers, and about another phone call he had gotten from a lady out of town about how much she enjoyed the program that day. But I just want to thank all of you for taking time to stop by and pick up a flower. That just meant so much when I realized that all of you had contributed to that. And I do want you to know that I did take a couple flowers from the bouquet out to Eddie on Fridays and let him know that these came from you guys. So thank you so much. And thank you, Barbara, for initiating all of that. Okay. And thank you, Vaughn, for the nice vases. He said, they just told me to bring vases.
Thank you for everyone, to everyone who arranged the flowers. It was a flourish. If you could have seen what I saw in there, it was a flourish shop back there in the kitchen. Thank you to everyone who jumped in and arranged and made that happen.
That was Mrs. Williams, Reverend Williams' wife.
Oh, that was Reverend Williams' wife. Oh, she did a wonderful job. I just stayed out of her way. I put stuff down and moved because she was in her zone doing a thing. Reverend Wilson, did you have something?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I do. Yeah, right here. I do.
Okay, go ahead. Well, I'm coming.
Okay, on Saturday, Courtney Norwood a little shop. The Reverend Dr. Coach and some of our friends, they surprised him with a birthday party at his house.
Oh.
So he got a shot on cash for his birthday.
Vaughn,
Yes, ma'am.
Valentine's Day is Geraldine's birthday and also his birthday. And his lip was kind of poked out, gave him a card, but, he was disappointed. So on Saturday, they put a smile on his face.
Well, that's what friends do, especially Rattlers. We're there for each other. And through thick and thin. Oh, yes, we got a question.
Can you talk to us about Rattler Plus?
Rattler Plus, I'm glad you mentioned that. I want everyone to realize that Josh has left and he's now in Kent State. So the athletic department is trying to piece together all of the parts that go on an athletic website. And let me tell you, from working in that position, the spring is the worst time because you have so many things happening at one time. So I'm asking everybody here and everybody online and all your friends, just be patient. I understand they've identified someone or that they're trying to bring in to take it permanently, but right now it's done in some pieces. So if it takes a story a little longer than we used to for it to get up, or the stats or something of that nature, just give your athletic department some grace until that can be handed over to one person, because it's being done by committee right now. A committee of people who don't have the experience that Josh had, or don't have the experience that it's a unique technique to be able to balance all of that. I think that's one of the reasons I resigned as sports information director. Your mind has to go a lot of ways at one time. There is a lot to keep up with. For example, you have a game. You have a basketball game. You have to get those stats from the person keeping stats. Put those stats on the website. Write story. Get a photo from the digital media department. Put that in the story. Make sure the stats are attached to that. Post your social media posts. Upload to the NCAA site, and even more. So it's not automated yet. It's those tasks are individually done. So like I said, just give them a little grace if things don't happen as quickly as possible. That Angela has identified a cycle of people that are helping in the interim until we get a full-time sports information director. I think so. Ms. Allen?
Do you know anything about compliance? And I'll ask my question. I'm almost certain that the students and this starts back with football, the trophies and trophies period. Is it against the law, instead of a trophy, a gift card to McDonald's?
You're not giving McDonald's.
I'm just saying McDonald's. It can be in.
We can ask that. Her question was, in lieu of the trophies that we give, would we be able to give a gift card to a food place? That's a question I will ask. Initially, I might think that that's going to be a benefit because there's a specific thing that allows trophy. There's a specific almost sentence that allows trophies for recognition. Once we start getting into monetary, then we definitely have to ask a question, from compliance. But I'll ask.
Yeah, because I believe they would rather have a food card.
Every coach that comes up here talks about how much their student athletes like to eat, so I agree with you. Whether it's legal or not, that's what we have to find out. Dr. Jackson? Right. We can give it to coaches, though. That's kind of what we do to coaches, and we have one for coach today and some other things. We have some trophies that were bought. And thank you, Mr. Crockett, for that. He did it a while ago. Agreed to sponsor the trophies for the volleyball team, and we were just able to get the meeting, but by the time we ordered, there was a mix-up, so we will get those trophies to you. But do we have the gift card today? We'll bring you back and make those presentations. Well, half of them probably going working. They all graduated. He got 1,000 APR. That's right. Mr. Jackson was a SID. Yeah. Yeah, we should. Yeah, for those that at home, she was just detailing how before computers, Mr. Jackson, back in the day, used to have to type out the stories on a typewriter and actually go visit the Democrat and visit the news stations and all those type things. But in some ways, it's even worse now because you don't have the additional, we didn't have the additional multimedia things you have to do now. And with Rattler Plus, organizing Rattler Plus to make sure that those broadcasts come on for each game. It's getting better. I've noticed, and AD Suggs asked me to kind of take a look at it. It's getting better, and I just want to reemphasize: be a little patient. It's a transition period of a sensitive job, especially in the spring when all of these sports go in at the same time. All right. Are there any other questions? All right. Don't forget tomorrow, 5 o'clock. The movie starts at the pharmacy building, the new pharmacy building in the Florida Blue Room. The first 100 people there will get a free copy of the book. Pam Oliver will be there to interview Jesse Hurd and Dr. White, who wrote the book. I think it's going to be a great time. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow, please come on over to the pharmacy building.
Some of us will be at volleyball that day, our softball game at 3:30.
And some will be at the softball game. We're not going to forget that. I think that's a great idea, and I think we talked about that for a while to bring somebody from compliance and us be able to ask them questions. I had another question over here. Somebody?
Yeah, you said 5:30. The article says 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Right, but it also says later in it, which is confusing because later on in there it says the film will start at 5.
Okay, all right.
And then the discussion starts at 5:30.
Okay.
Like think about this, they meet at 4, and they have parking right in front, between the Frederick Humphreys building and the pharmacy building. That parking will be open tomorrow, so you can park right by the front doors. You may not, I don't think you have to walk down any steps when you park there. I think it's on that same level, so. All right, thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for joining us online. Thank you, Coach Yilmaz. And we'll see you all next week.
Me, did you figure $1,000? No. $1,000. Right, Mom. Your first name? It's his first name.
What's your first?
$1,000.
Oh yeah, I thought I gave it to you yesterday.
No, you did $1,000.
Yeah. I think he did give us 1,000.
No, he did.
I'm gonna check.
Name called.
Listen, I know.
Leander's Hard.
Yeah, I know Leander. I know where to find him.
He didn't pay your booster dues. He didn't pay booster.
That's it. I'm gonna look on the books, and if you don't, I'm gonna let you know. We gonna show up at your doorstep. I'm telling you right now.
He lives on. I guess when